Xiao Yin, you're asking for death. Looking at Xiao Yin, who wasn't injured but seemed a little disheveled, Feng Qingyang's expression turned dark. He had originally planned only to humiliate AI Xun'er, but unexpectedly, Xiao Yin, that meddler, had turned the tables on him, especially in front of countless powerful figures in the ferocious soul domain. Such humiliation made Feng Qingyang lose face. A growing resentment toward Xiao Yin began to build up inside him. Zhao Guang. Seeing the two of them in midair, both furious, AI Xun'er sensed the angry aura on Feng Qingyang's face and immediately spoke to the figure before her. She knew that their confrontation had only been a probe. If they truly fought, the outcome was still uncertain. This matter ends here. Let's focus on breaking the Undying fire seal. The rest can be dealt with after we enter. A moment later, Zhao Guang stepped forward, his powerful aura spreading through the void. Since Xiao Yin had been invited to join the Central Region Alliance, Zhao Guang, as the leader, naturally wouldn't stand idly by. After all, Xiao Yin now represented not just himself, but the Earth Spirit Hall. Is it the same as the early 5-star Docian? Looking at Zhao Guang, Feng Qingyang's arrogant demeanor gradually receded. Let's get to the point. Soon after, the experts from the other 3 halls spoke simultaneously. However, Feng Qingyang's earlier action had clearly been tacitly approved by them. You're lucky this time, but in the Undying fire ruins, I wonder if your luck will hold. Feng Qingyang, hearing the words, didn't linger on the issue and left a harsh remark before turning his attention away from Xiao Yin. These guys. Below, numerous powerful figures were dissatisfied, but they had no choice but to accept Feng Qingyang's actions. After all, they still needed his help to enter the sacred flame region. Everyone, please step back. The 5 major halls are about to begin breaking the seal. A moment later, Xiao from the Judgment Hall lightly shook his steps, sending brilliant waves of energy spreading out. Boom! It seemed that the earlier clash between Xiao Yin and Feng Qingyang had caused some strange fluctuations in the towering light pillar. Thanks just now. When we enter the ruins, you can follow me, AI Xun'er softly said, her teeth lightly biting her silver lips as she spoke quietly to Xiao Yin. All right. Xiao Yin nodded in agreement without hesitation. The sacred flame region is near. Let's get to work, everyone. A moment later, Xiao glanced at Xiao Yin with a complicated expression and spoke. For some reason, Xiao Yin, with only the strength of a mid-stage 4-star Docian, was able to represent the Earth Spirit Hall in the Sacred Flame contest, which surprised Xiao. Moreover, Xiao Yin's presence made Xiao feel a vague sense of fear. Move. Moments later, the 5 major hall experts shone brightly with a dazzling glow, like a moon in the sky. After a brief moment, the power on their bodies seemed to slowly merge. The experts from the 5 major halls really are impressive, muttered the other experts on the ground as they watched the 5 ascend into the sky. With their combined strength, the entrance to the sacred flame region began to clear. Rustling. So these are the top disciples of the ferocious soul domain's 5 major halls. With the power of early 5-star Docian and the support of domain abilities, they might be able to contend with regular late 5-star Docian experts. But this time, we act under the orders of the Light Demon Lord to capture the Undying fire. So, no matter how many powerful figures you send, it's all just paving the way for our extraterritorial evil clan. The Undying fire region will be your final resting place. Once the ferocious soul domain is rid of you geniuses, Lord will launch another major attack. The downfall of the ferocious soul domain is only a matter of time. A gloomy-faced man in gray, with a somewhat wilted aura, laughed faintly from within the crowd. However, he was not alone. There were dozens of others of similar caliber, all concealed perfectly within the crowd, their auras hidden. Are those the experts from the other 4 halls? Why did they only send 1 disciple from each hall? Could it be that their halls are so short of disciples? Looking at the increasingly radiant 5 experts, Xiao Yin murmured softly. However, he knew that with the combined effort of the 5, breaking the seal was only a matter of time. The other 4 halls are different from our Earth Spirit Hall. Their resources are allocated based on strength, and only a few geniuses are stationed within the halls. The rest of the disciples are scattered all over the place. AI Xun'er seemed to have sensed Xiao Yan's confusion and explained. I see now. Xiao Yan nodded lightly and then turned his gaze to the sky. By this point, the five people's powers had reached their peak, and the towering light pillar protecting the sacred flame's entrance could probably hold out for only a little longer. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At the same time, the two sacred flames within Xiao Yan's body emitted a faint aura of alertness, which came from the massive crowd ahead. This fluctuation, could it be a powerful being from the extraterritorial evil clan? Xiao Yan had already gained a deep understanding of the sacred flame's powers. Based on the disturbances, he could easily identify the aura emitted by the sacred flame. The cautious feeling now was the sacred flame detecting the repellent aura of the extraterritorial evil clan, and it was merely signaling Xiao Yan. It seems this trip to the Undying Fire won't be as simple as expected. However, Master of Ferocious Souls, just wait for me, Xiao Yan said, then fell silent, quietly waiting for the entrance to appear. Boom, boom, boom. In the blink of an eye, the five people's dazzling powers erupted beside the towering light pillar, forming five surging columns of Do Qi. Break it! A cold grunt came from Xiao, who shouted fiercely. The energy columns around the five of them collided violently with the red flame-like light pillar. Swish, swish. Waves of energy trembled violently, shaking the space around them. More intense energy poured out from the red light pillar under the force of their attack. The seal is finally gone. At this moment, countless powerful figures slowly raised their heads, and then their gazes were drawn toward the center of the explosion. As the shockwaves faded, what replaced the red light pillar was a fiery red light screen. From within it, a strange, undying aura spread out. Through the thin veil, one could easily spot a series of shocking scenes beginning to emerge. When the towering light pillar protecting the Undying Fire was shattered by the powerful figures of the Great Hall, a circular entrance about a few meters in size appeared on the ground in front of them. The entrance emitted a terrifying warmth that sent shivers down the spine, similar to the Undying Fire. Haha! The seal of the Undying Fire's entrance has finally broken. Charge! The Undying Fire is ours. With the red light pillar shattered by the joint efforts of everyone, the strong figures present erupted with fervent eyes and shouted, their voices spreading over the desolate ghost abyss. These individuals were mostly of average strength, and they knew that only by getting there first would they have a slim chance of encountering the Undying Fire. Otherwise, with the presence of 5-star Do Xian experts, it would be out of their reach, so they sought to act first. Swish, swish. The energy of Do Qi in various colors sparkled like stars in the sky, and soon after, many figures among the powerful rushed toward the entrance of the sacred flames, Undying Fire territory. Some weaker factions followed closely, heading toward the spatial entrance. However, the other strong figures, including those from the 5 major halls and some other powerful individuals, kept their eyes on the strangely standing spatial entrance on the ground, waiting quietly. Thud, thud. Unfortunately, the peaceful scene did not last long. Just as others were about to step into the entrance, the smiles on their faces froze instantly. Odd sounds emerged directly from within the spatial entrance. Ah, help me. Save me. As this scene unfolded, eerie cries and wails reverberated throughout the air. Even the first individuals to charge toward the sacred flame's entrance were engulfed by gray flames that burned violently across their bodies. The gray flames were like those of the Grim Reaper, scorching their Do Qi and even their soul power, causing excruciating pain. Such a strange power from the Undying Fire? Xiao Yan looked at the suffering people around him and kept his guard up as he gazed at the entrance leading to the sacred flame. Although he knew little about the Undying Fire, he had never encountered such a mysterious sacred flame before. The Undying Fire is said to be eternal and indestructible, but there are very few records on it. This form. It seems that the sacred flame has mutated. If we are lucky enough to enter the sacred flame's realm this time, it looks like we'll need to rely on our wits, AI Xun'er said quietly as she drew closer to Xiao Yan, murmuring. Heh, let's wait a bit before going in, Xiao Yan said with a smile. As for why the Master of Ferocious Souls gave up on the Undying Fire, Xiao Yin guessed that it was likely a strategy to lure other powerful beings in by using the undying fire as bait to attract their attention, all to consume the lovesickness flame. Of course, this was just Xiao Yan's speculation, and whether it was true or not remained uncertain. AI Xun'er, not a woman with only looks but no brains, nodded slightly. At this moment, no one from the 5 great halls or any other powerful figures showed any intention of making a move. Time passed like a fleeting moment, and after a quarter of an hour, except for a few impatient individuals who rashly entered and were severely injured as a result, the other experts remained still, quietly waiting. They all knew that the entrance still carried the residual power of the undying fire, a force difficult to handle. Moreover, with so many powerful beings present, no one was willing to expend unnecessary effort, so they all waited together. It's about time. Let's go. At this moment, Xiao slowly opened his eyes and glanced down at the entrance. The power of the undying fire had weakened to the point of being negligible. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao's body transformed into a streak of lightning, charging toward the entrance of the undying fire at lightning speed, clearly aiming to be the first to claim it for himself. Move. Seeing this, the other powerful beings surged forward, unwilling to let Xiao have such an advantage. At the same time, the desolate ghost abyss began to stir restlessly, for the reason was clear. The undying fire's legacy site had finally opened. We should go too. Once we enter, keep an eye out for suspicious individuals in the crowd. If necessary, Xiao Yin whispered to AI Xun'er, then gestured lightly to his throat. As the controller of Sacred Flame, wiping out the extraterritorial evil clan was one of Xiao Yan's missions. With the Master of Souls now gone, everything rested on him. The most important thing was the method the extraterritorial evil clan had learned to counter the Sacred Flame. Xiao Yin wanted to uncover this method completely to be prepared. Boom! A massive crowd, like a swarm of ants, rushed into the undying fire's legacy site with an unstoppable momentum. Their eyes burned with intense desire, for they all knew that if they could acquire the undying fire, their status would rise exponentially. Buzz! The huge crowd, like a wave of light, easily swept past the entrance of the desolate ghost abyss and entered the undying fire legacy. With that, the battle for the undying fire had officially begun. As Xiao Yin and AI Xun'er entered with the main group, they were immediately surrounded by a fiery red flame filling their vision. However, there was something about these flames that made Xiao Yin feel a chill of dread. Xiao Yin did possess 2 sacred flames, but due to the unique nature of the ghost-faced soul flame and his original intention to give it to his teacher, the Master of Souls, to help him break through to the coveted realm, Xiao Yin had refrained from merging them. Otherwise, with his fused sacred flames, he would be nearly unbeatable at his level. But now, the Master of Souls had clearly found another way to enter reincarnation, so Xiao Yin could relax and fully merge his 2 sacred flames. One sacred flame was the 35th ranked Fireheart Heavenly Rock, and the other was the 24th ranked Ghost-Faced Soul Flame. Xiao Yin was confident that their fusion would create a new sacred flame that would not be weaker than the top 20, though compared to the Undying Fire, it might still fall a little short. Upon entering the Undying Fire's legacy site, the fiery red flames surrounded them, and even patches of red mist filled the space. In this area, even spiritual power seemed temporarily ineffective, which made many powerful beings uneasy. After a brief moment of fear, however, they understood that obtaining anything from the Undying Fire legacy would not be so simple. What they didn't know was that as they explored the Undying Fire legacy, a life form capable of effortlessly wiping them out was drawing closer. This creature seemed to contain the very essence of the Undying Fire, and its violent aura was enough to leave one shuddering in fear. The special void holding the Undying Fire sacred flame was known by a specific name, the Undying Sacred Tome. This place of sacred flames is so strange. At this moment, inside the Undying Sacred Tome, the crimson flames that obscured the heart and blocked the sun wrapped around the 2 figures, causing their senses to completely dissipate. Even their vision was severely compressed, and they could only sense the solid ground beneath their feet. Beyond 10 meters, Everything was a vast expanse of white, and the only other thing present was the crimson mist. Within the depths of the crimson mist, there seemed to be a faint grayish power, like the true ruler of this world. It appeared incredibly close, yet was actually distant. This should be the interior of the Undying sacred tome. Xun'er glanced around but found nothing. Her silver teeth gently bit down as she spoke to Xiao. The presence of the fiery crimson flames made even someone as strong as Xun'er, at the perfect 4-star Docian level, feel uneasy. This is indeed the place where the undying fire remains. I can sense its power, but we are likely far from its origin point. Xiao shook his head. Even with his current soul power, he couldn't detect anything. In fact, Xiao noticed that his senses seemed to be completely suppressed by the faint crimson flames and mist surrounding them. By the way, what exactly is the Undying sacred tome? As Xun'er scanned her surroundings, Xiao gave up trying to use his soul power and couldn't help but ask. The Undying sacred tome is the residence of the Undying fire. Legend has it that the top 20 sacred flames each have their own territory after they are born, and the Undying sacred tome is more like a space the Undying fire carries with it, similar to a spatial ring. Here, it is the true master. Xun'er looked slightly puzzled when she noticed Xiao didn't seem to know this. She hadn't expected that he would be unaware. Heh, Xun'er, do you know something I don't? After a brief pause, Xiao scratched his head and said. When Xun'er had asked him to follow her here earlier, Xiao had suspected she might know some things that ordinary people wouldn't. The Undying sacred tome is extremely dangerous, but inside it, there are countless heavenly treasures and earth-shattering wonders, from cultivation techniques and dough skills to divine pills and miraculous medicines, all in endless supply. And since Sect Master AI has had the fortunate experience of entering the Undying sacred tome, she knows some things about it. Xun'er's face slightly puffed up with pride as she lifted her chest, speaking with pride to Xiao. Sect Master AI actually entered the Undying sacred tome? Xiao was stunned upon hearing this. I remember Master said that, aside from the Undying fire, there seems to be a terrifying being inside the Undying sacred tome. He told me to be cautious, but even he doesn't know what it is. Xun'er noticed Xiao astonished expression and immediately pouted. Inside the Undying sacred tome, these mists are called the Undying mist. This mist cannot be dispelled, at least not with our current strength, Xun'er spoke cautiously. So, we can only move deeper into the Undying sacred tome under the cover of this mist. Xun'er's voice was tinged with vigilance. What shape is the sacred tome? Or what kind of danger does it hold? Xiao asked, curious, after hearing Xun'er's serious tone. I don't know. However, according to what Master told me, the Undying sacred tome seems to be a circular space. If you don't find the correct path, you might end up trapped here forever, eventually being devoured by the Undying mist and turned into a mist corpse. Xun'er explained again. Let me try. Just as Xun'er finished speaking, Xiao sacred flame aura erupted from within him. The two of them were immediately surrounded by this power, and to their surprise, the eerie crimson flames disappeared in an instant under Xiao control, and their vision cleared up as well. Still only a few hundred meters? After a moment, Xiao slowly withdrew the sacred flame power, careful not to reveal his aura. He muttered to himself. When they first entered, their vision had been limited to just a few meters. Now, with Xiao sacred flame power, their sight extended to several hundred meters. It was a rather powerful technique. This place seems to be a barren forest. As her vision suddenly widened, Xun'er's beautiful eyes moved slightly, taking in the surrounding scenery. They were standing in a forest of dead trees, with barren gray soil and rocks, rotting stumps, and an eerie, deathly silence. We'll go to the treasure site in the Undying sacred tome first. Let's go. As she spoke, Xun'er's body shifted slightly, and she ran toward a certain part of the eerie forest, clearly not sharing the specifics of the treasure site with Xiao. However, Xiao didn't ask any questions and was ready to follow. For now, it was better to wait and see. After all, Treasures like the Undying fire wouldn't be easily taken by other powerful beings. Rustle. Just as they started moving, a sharp sound spread from not far away and entered their ears. What is that sound? Xun'er stopped and looked toward the misty area 100 meters away. Buzz buzz. At the same time, Xiao Undying leaf and Undying netherworld sparrow inside his body erupted with an extremely intense heat. The source of this energy was the strange sound coming from the misty area 100 meters away. Damn it! Then, from within the mist, a light, swift little girl appeared, running fast as though fleeing from some kind of beast, and entered Xiao and Xun'er's line of sight. The girl seemed to be around 10 years old, with fluffy black hair, and a middle part that split her hair into two halves. However, something seemed to be hidden on her forehead, obscured by the black hair. Her clothes were ragged, and she appeared panicked, running desperately as if escaping from some creature. This is Earth Demon Bull? Xin Mountain Giant Tiger? Even a heavenly mountain wolf comparable to an early-stage 5-star Docian? In the blink of an eye, powerful soul beasts surged behind the little girl, roaring toward her with immense momentum. Among these soul beasts, except for a few leading experts, there were actually hundreds of formidable soul beasts, their eyes burning with hunger as they stared at the little girl like she was the most delicious prey. Xun'er, make a move. Save her. Xiao quickly made up his mind, sensing the disturbance from his Undying leaf and other sources, and said to Xun'er. Xun'er, however, stood motionless, her mouth slightly open, muttering, "This little girl. She seems familiar. Heavenly water veil." Xiao wasted no time, unleashing a terrifying offensive, knowing that, as a mid-stage 4-star Docian, most of these soul beasts were stronger than him, and a few were at the 5-star Docian level. If he held back, it would likely end badly for him. Meanwhile, Xun'er continued to stand still, seemingly lost in thought, staring at the little girl, memories flooding her mind, though she couldn't quite place who she was. Boom! As Xiao voice fell, ancient giant fingers filled with dazzling power surrounded him. Coupled with the terrifying fire element Do Qi inside Xiao body, the attacking power in those giant fingers was monstrous. Human, this is none of your business. I advise you not to interfere, or else. The leaders of the soul beasts raised their proud heads and glared at Xiao. While they were stronger than him, they still feared his overwhelming strike, especially considering his flames had a powerful restraining effect on them, not to mention the sacred flame he wielded. I have to save this girl, Xiao said resolutely, dismissing their warnings. She's our food. If you insist on this, then. Despite their strong presence, the leaders still showed some respect for Xiao, wary of the terrifying attack around him. That's not my concern, Xiao shrugged and smiled, his tone clearly warning them. You're seeking death. Hearing Xiao firm reply, the leaders glared at him with fury. Their overwhelming power spread through the forest. Dragon God's second transformation, Dragon Might. Roar. Seeing this, Xiao sent his giant fingers toward the soul beasts, but they were easily blocked. In the next instant, Xiao body disappeared and reappeared, transformed into a golden dragon. Its deafening roar spread like a tidal wave. Dragon Clan? Run! The leaders of the soul beasts quickly exchanged looks, noticing the little girl continuing to flee. They turned their eyes to the massive golden dragon before them and immediately began retreating without hesitation. Whoosh whoosh. As the soul beasts retreated one by one, the giant dragon's form abruptly disappeared, and Xiao figure reappeared. However, beads of sweat had appeared on his forehead, clearly indicating that using the Dragon God's second transformation, a technique that resembled an illusionary trick, had consumed a great deal of Xiao energy. The Dragon God's second transformation was devastatingly oppressive to dragons, but its effect on other races wasn't as significant. This scene, however, had completely caught Xiao off guard. Had he known, it would have undoubtedly led to a bloody storm. Where's that little girl? After driving the enemies back, Xiao scanned his surroundings, only to realize that the little girl, who had been struggling to escape earlier, had vanished without a trace. Xiao Yan's vision currently only reached a few hundred meters, with the area beyond shrouded in the undying mist. What dangers lay beyond that mist were unknown, so Xiao Yan hesitated to step into it recklessly. Xiao Yan, she's here. Just as Xiao Yan was puzzled, a sweet voice sounded from behind him. AI Xun'er? Xiao Yan turned around upon hearing the voice, only to see AI Xun'er slightly bent over, her eyes narrowing as she tentatively stared at him. It was the same mysterious little girl, but she seemed to be terrified of Xiao Yan. She was tightly hiding behind AI Xun'er, peering at Xiao Yan with furtive glances, her gaze evasive. This kid. Xiao Yan shook his head, wondering why the little girl was acting like this. He slowly walked toward them, puzzled by her strange behavior. Sister, bad man? As Xiao Yan approached, the little girl's breathing became rapid. She clutched AI Xun'er's clothes tightly, her expression tense as she stared at Xiao Yan. What's going on? Xiao Yan wasn't going to ask the little girl anything. Instead, he turned to AI Xun'er. This little girl has lost her memory, AI Xun'er said softly, lowering her head and gazing affectionately at the little girl. When you were fighting the soul beasts earlier, I tried to communicate with her, but she just kept shaking her head. Although the little girl's clothes were ragged, her figure was delicate and graceful, and her skin was as white as jade, which naturally made AI Xun'er fond of her. Lost her memory? Xiao Yan was taken aback, his mouth opening wide in surprise. Could this cliched plot really be happening to him? He had initially thought he could find something useful from the little girl, but now she had lost her memory? I shouldn't have let those soul beasts escape just now. She must know something, Xiao Yan lamented inwardly. I think I've seen records about this little girl in my teacher's notes. Seeing Xiao Yan's stunned expression, AI Xun'er explained. She's probably related to the Undying fire, right? Xiao Yan asked tentatively. Based on the fluctuations from the Undying leaf and Undying netherworld sparrow earlier, he had made a guess. How do you know? Now it was AI Xun'er's turn to be surprised. The little girl's identity was mysterious, and had AI Xun'er not happened to recall some old records, she might not even have known the truth about her. Even so, AI Xun'er still couldn't fully recall the little girl's real identity. She only knew that there were indeed records in her teacher's notes, but she couldn't remember them in detail at the moment. Hee. Xiao Yan grinned. Though AI Xun'er was straightforward and trustworthy, the Undying leaf and other items related to the Undying fire were crucial for Xiao Yan's pursuit of the Undying fire. He could only pretend to be clueless. This little girl is related to the sacred flame, but I think I need to take my time to remember the details. AI Xun'er, seeing that Xiao Yan was pretending, didn't push further. As a disciple of the Earth Hall submaster, she understood Xiao Yan's cautious nature and didn't expose him. Little one, what's your name? Can you tell me, sister? AI Xun'er asked, smiling and bending down, her two dimples showing as she kindly inquired. Xiao Yan, standing several dozen meters away, looked on helplessly. Xiao Zhuoma. The little girl, seeing AI Xun'er's smiling face, let down her guard significantly and finally spoke. Xiao Zhuoma. This girl is related to the Undying fire, and I have two types of sacred flames and Undying leaves in my body. How could she be afraid of me? Could it be because she sensed the aura of the two sacred flames? Or could it be the flame mantra, capable of devouring sacred flames? By the end, Xiao Yan had come up with a bold theory about the little girl's identity. Xiao Zhuoma, can you tell sister why those big guys were chasing you just now? Seeing the little girl watching Xiao Yan warily, AI Xun'er quickly followed up with another question. I had just awakened when they started chasing me. Little Zhuoma ran and ran but couldn't escape the red mist. Just as she was about to collapse, little Zhuoma said softly. Xiao Yan frowned upon hearing this. It's okay. Those bad people have already been driven away by Big Brother. We'll protect you. So Big Brother isn't a bad person, AI Xun'er said, holding little Zhuoma and pointing gently at Xiao Yan. Not a bad person, but inside of him? Little Zhuoma's expression turned complex as she seemed to hesitate, her words trailing off. Never mind, let's just take her with us for now, and let her memories return gradually. Also, I need to clean the dirt off her. You're not allowed to peek. Not long after, Xun'er, shielding little Zhuoma, led her to a hidden spot behind some trees. It was clear that for someone with strong water affinity, removing dirt was an easy task. These two. Watching them, Xiao couldn't help but get lost in thought, the image of a girl named Xiao echoing in his mind. That girl and Kailin are practically cut from the same cloth. By now, she must have grown into a true lady. It seems like once I finish here, I'll have to go back to the lower realm and bring them up. But since things aren't stable here, it's better to wait. Xiao muttered slowly. As for the lower realm, the continent of Doqi, it still appeared prosperous. But after Xiao and the others had left for so long, some Dodi powerhouses had emerged. They were using their strength to suppress the dimensional transitions, since Xiao and the others, 5 Dodi experts, had shattered the void, and their fate remained unknown. Naturally, the lower realm would not allow anyone to easily leave. Gulu. This should be it. The soul beasts that were tracking us have been shaken off. I hope the target hasn't been lost, since that little girl is a crucial part in obtaining the undying fire. After a moment of stillness, the ground in this desolate mountain forest began to wriggle, and an eerie aura spread out. Who's there? Come out. Xiao, still deep in thought, instinctively sensed an extremely dangerous presence. His brows furrowed as he became alert, staring at the space ahead. Mid-stage 4-star Dosian? Hearing Xiao voice, the earth loosened, and a grim-faced man suddenly emerged from the soil, speaking in a tone of surprise. This guy's aura is so strange. Xiao expression grew serious as he observed. The man's face was ashen, and his entire body was enveloped in a sinister, uncomfortable aura. Ghostly soul binding. The impermanence call. I am Wu Shuang. The strange man clenched his hands and spoke to Xiao. As soon as he finished, an eerie black ghostly energy surrounded his body. A soul body? An indigenous resident of the ghost realm? Xiao was greatly shocked by this mysterious power. Since entering the ghost realm, Xiao had mostly lived in human-dominated areas, so his experience with ghostly entities was lacking. However, the power of these ghosts far surpassed that of ordinary humans. Otherwise, the vast territory of the ghost realm would have been nothing but a hollow name. I don't have time to play with you, so? Ghost spirit binding. At that moment, the ghostly human figure suddenly became ethereal. Dark light erupted, forming terrifying ghostly rays that rushed toward Xiao. Within those rays, an eerie and terrifying power filled the air, making Xiao feel a sense of dread. Heaven-shifting ruler. Xiao could not afford to underestimate the situation. His gaze became serious, and the ancient ruler of heavenly flames was drawn, its intricate patterns covering the surface. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions rang out, and the seemingly fierce attacks were redirected elsewhere. In the blink of an eye, a deep pit several dozen meters wide appeared. Even at the edges of the pit, eerie light lingered, and mysterious forces radiated from within. What kind of power is this? Xiao muttered to himself, still stunned by the strange and eerie ghostly energy. This was the first time he had encountered such a force since entering the ghost realm. Looks like you have some skills. Take my strike. Ghostly soul-eating hand. Seeing that Xiao had easily avoided and redirected his attack, the grim-faced man showed a hint of surprise, but his hands immediately conjured an even more formidable attack. Who exactly is this guy? These attacks of his seem to be aimed directly at the soul's power, and they're almost impossible to defend against. Xiao's body surged with an extreme heat, his fire-like aura expanding in ripples, his thoughts racing. Ghostly echoing heavenly illusion. Watching the grim man's next attack, Xiao closed his eyes, and his soul power surged, countless forces within his spiritual layers quickly activated and spread out. Soul battle technique? Looking at Xiao's strike, a trace of shock appeared on the eerie man's illusory face. However, this level of attack is too weak for me, the eerie man said with a slow smile, his palms suddenly gathering a terrifying ghostly light. The light quickly formed into a giant hand, over 1,000 feet in size. The hand was enveloped in an extremely sinister, ghostly aura, flowing like a river, overwhelming in its presence. Boom! Soon after, the two attacks collided effortlessly, sending out ripples of destruction from their point of impact. The power was so formidable that it was truly terrifying. Boy, prepare to die. Before the battle fluctuations had even dissipated, the eerie man roared and sent an even more intense wave of energy towards Xiao Yin. Heavenly water veil. As the aftershocks slowly spread, a soft grunt came from a distance. A massive water curtain, like a barrier, appeared and completely protected Xiao Yin. At the same time, AI Xun'er and little Xun'er emerged. However, little Xun'er, dressed neatly by AI Xun'er, had her hair styled in twin tails, and her bangs covered her forehead. She wore a delicate and beautiful dress. This little girl is really here. But with the power of these two, it seems impossible for me to handle them alone. I should report back to the master first, the eerie man muttered as he looked at the three of them. He glanced at the brilliant water curtain barrier and shook his head. He wants to run. Stop him. Xiao Yin immediately shouted upon seeing this. Whoosh! In a flash, Xiao Yin and AI Xun'er's attacks struck the eerie ghostly aura. But in order to divert a bit of energy to protect little Xun'er, the eerie man used the cover of the ghostly aura to escape.